Let's hit the field.
All right.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
Today is Sunday, June 23rd, and it was the rubber game between the Yankees and the Braves. Giancarlo Stanton is on the injured list. Oswald Peraza was back for the day. J.D. Davis is a Yankee, and Nestor Cortez was trying to make it 2 wins in a row, but the Yankees had their work cut out for them with Max Fried. My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is NYY Recaps.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back, kid.
How's it going, everybody? How's it going? Welcome back. Very hot day in the Bronx, 105 on the real field, but the Yankees' bats were mostly cold again, and they dropped their third straight series. Multi-hit games from Ben Rice and Trent Grisham. Solid performance by Nestor Cortez, but it was not enough. First it was the Red Sox, then it was the Orioles, and now the Braves. Day off tomorrow for the Yankees. Hopefully they can get some rest. At least the bullpen mostly got rested today. Tommy Kahnle and Clay Holmes had to pitch, but sort of that underbelly of guys didn't have to get up. So they'll enjoy having the day off tomorrow as well. But yeah, 3 straight series losses for the Yankees. It is not what you want. No surprise today when we found out that Giancarlo Stanton was placed on the injured list. They said at least 10 days, but that's a formality because he's on the 10-day IL. I'd be shocked if he's back within 30 days, honestly. And it really sucks because, Jason Dominguez is hurt. He would have probably made his season debut today. But we're probably not going to see him until at least September. And now we have to wonder in the back of our minds, is he going to be one of those guys who's injury prone or can't stay healthy? That question remains to be answered. I mean, it's a perfectly valid question. It's too soon to label it injury proneness, but it's definitely a question that now we're going to keep an eye on. For the moment, the Yankees called up Oswald Peraza. They made it clear that it was, quote, for today, which leads you to believe that he could be optioned back to AAA at some point before Tuesday when the newest Yankee, J.D. Davis, arrives. I'll tell you what, though, the Yankees seem to have zero confidence in Oswald Peraza for some reason. They must recognize something in the metrics that makes them flinch because they resisted calling him up for the longest time, and they seem hell-bent on keeping him from getting extensive playing times in the major leagues. Look, we know the glove is elite. We know the arm is elite. So it's got to be the bat. He was hitting 179 at AAA this season. He has mashed in the minor leagues before, and he missed spring training. But he hit 300 during his first call-up. Last year didn't do quite as well. So you wonder if the Yankees just lack confidence in him. They did go out and get J.D. Davis before the game. Right before first pitch, we found out that they traded for him. They also got cash consideration, so basically some money to pay his salary for Jordan Groshans. Not a huge move, but obviously they are searching for answers offensively, hoping that they can tap into something from J.D. Davis. He's having a bad year. You hope that that's a product of playing for a team that has no chance to make the playoffs, the Oakland A's, and maybe coming to the Yankees and being part of a pennant race will, sort of inspire him to, it'll light a fire under him, But he was hitting .236 with 4 home runs, so it's a low-risk, low-reward move. I'd imagine he's going to get some at-bats in the DH spot. He'll maybe get some at-bats at third, maybe some first, if they don't want to play Ben Rice against a tough lefty. But Ben Rice hit the lefty today, Max Fried, pretty well. He's looked good. Ben Rice can swing it. Noteworthy that the last 10 games that J.D. Davis started with the Athletics, he batted .353. So at least you're acquiring someone who's been on a hot streak recently, which is more than we can say for DJ LeMahieu, who is now hitting .185 and had another very soft contact day. He was 0 for 3. He's got a .465 OPS. It's a good thing that he's a good defender because if not, I think he might have been out of a job by now because the offense has been, as our Irish friends would say, pure shite. He has 2 years on his contract remaining at $15 million each year. Now, that might not be a huge obstacle for the Yankees. They have paid guys at the end of their contract to go away before. Aaron Hicks, the most recent example. Josh Donaldson, But he needs to start hitting soon, or I think you got to start the DFA watch. I really think so. He just has not had hard contact. He looks old. He is not passing the eye test whatsoever. And for that matter, Gleyber Torres continues to struggle. He's at 218. You know? So Yankees got some offensive issues to figure out. Aaron Judge was the primary DH today, so we got to look at how the Yankees are probably going to roll with the lineup for the next few weeks. You know, you got Judge at DH, you got Soto in right field, and you can swap those two and keep them both fresh. I think they're going to give more time off to Judge because he's been playing center field and he's got the toe thing. So you got to figure after like 80 games now? I don't know how many he's played, probably 78. Most of them in center field. The toe has got to be barking a little bit. It's got to be. You know, it's a chronic thing, so it's got to be hurting a little bit. Figure getting him off of his feet at least a few days a week could help. You know, and give Soto some rest too, because he's not been the same since that arm injury. He has not been hitting for the power. And I don't mean home runs. I mean he's not just driving the ball down the line. He's not ripping the ball in the gaps. These guys are going to need to share the load a little bit, I think, and help keep each other fresh. All right, let's get to the recap.
All right, let's go. Let's get it going.
Nestor Cortes got off to a really good start today. He struck out the side in order in the first inning, another dominating inning in the second. He got 2 quick outs in the third and then served up the home run to Jared Kelenic. He gave up 2 more runs in the fifth. I thought he was kind of wilting in the sun, but to his credit, he worked 2 more scoreless innings. So good job for Nestor Cortes. This is not going to be an in-depth recap today because, you know, it's a 3-1 game and the Yankees didn't do much offensively, quite frankly. Bottom 6, Trent Grisham picked up his second hit of the game. And then Volpe roped a double into the left field gap. 14th double of the season for Volpe. That cut the Braves' lead to 3-1. Volpe's hitting .271 with a .742 OPS as we approach the halfway mark. And by the way, on Tuesday, we're going to release the Yankees halfway sort of check-in as we take a look at what we've learned in terms of key takeaways in the first half. So the Yankees had first and second with 1 out. And Verdugo banged into a inning-ending double play. Just another missed opportunity. Another good day for Ben Rice, though. Multi-hit game. He's hitting now .294 with a .675 OPS. I don't think he has a double yet, but he's getting hits off of tough lefties. He's hitting the ball to all fields. I like what I see from him, and he's playing a good first base. So, nice job by Nestor Cortes to get through 7 innings today and spare the bullpen a few outs. Final line, 7 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. No walks, 7 strikeouts. And look, on the season, he's doing quite well. He's had a really nice bounce back year. He's over 100 innings now, 100 2/3 innings pitched, 93 strikeouts, 18 walks. My alignment's a little bit messed up there, but a 1.07 whip this season. So he's doing quite a nice job. The command has just been elite. Another start with no walks today. His last 2 starts have been very strong. So a good bounce back season for him. Tommy Kahnle was good in the 8th inning. Matt Olson had no chance against the changeup, Bugs Bunny changeup today. Holmes was good. Bottom 8, Soto asked for time, but didn't get it and had strike 3 called against him. Another BS move from the umpires. It's Juan Soto. Let the man call timeout. Bottom 9, Judge smoked the first pitch of the inning, but it was right at the center fielder. He went 1 for 4, and the Braves hang on to win 3-1.
Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. If you ain't first, you're last.
Tabor Talk says Nestor has been solid this year, but his record does not show it. 4-6 on the year. And that's one of the reasons that, most people who follow the sport don't really care about win-loss record for pitchers anymore. We've seen guys win Cy Young Awards with basically 500 records. Felix Hernandez comes to mind, So it's all about the other stats, the peripherals. That's why I don't even put the win-loss up there anymore. It's not a big deal to me. Ray Rard says, I'm so sick of signing into Twitter and seeing the final Yankees, less than 2 runs, opponent, a ton more runs. I wouldn't call 3 a ton more than 1. It's 3 times as many, I guess. That's just my math there. 3 times 1.
My quantitative, my math specialist.
Melly says the umpires were petty this series. The umpires have been injecting themselves into games for years now. I feel like now that there's social media, I feel like every once in a while these guys just like being in the highlight reel, like being part of the action. You know, it used to be just call the game, be fair to both sides, but it's gotten way too ego-driven, I think, in terms of the umpires. Jason Thomas says Nestor has been a fine number 5. I agree. Izzy U says, unrelated, but I like Joe Girardi in the booth. I had that thought many times today. He is such a good color commentator. He's great. He's got great stories. I loved his story today about Curtis Granderson. You know, on the baseball bench, you know, guys will shout things out. You know, somebody hits a pop-up to second, and somebody will say, wind's not going to, you know, knock it down or whatever, or the ball's not carrying today. They'll shout these type of things. And he had a great story about Curtis Granderson, about how if somebody ducked out of the way of a pitch, he would yell, "We got ice!" You know, just take one for the team. Anyway, yeah, I like Joe Girardi out there. A. Lasara says Verdugo is hurt. We don't know that for sure, but he is 2 for 28. He has not looked great since he ran into the wall in center field, so it would not surprise me. Actually, it was before that, but that could not help. And they gave him a day off. He's probably a little banged up this point of the year. I think everybody's a little banged up this point of the year. He's somebody who I count on to be there in the postseason. You know, he's dog days of summer. He might wear out a little bit, but his energy is such that when the chips are on the table in the playoffs, I want Doogie at bat. I think he'll be around in the postseason. I'm not worried about a little bit of a slump from him. He might be hurting, but I think he'll be okay. Ray Rard says, Nestor did his job, but this garbage offense wasn't scoring against Max Fried. Max Fried going to be a free agent. Be interesting to see who he signs with. The Braves are obviously going to be very good for years to come. They're having a little bit of a down year because they lost Ronald Acuna Jr., they lost Spencer Strider, but they're going to bounce back. I think they'll probably re-sign him, but if not, might be somebody that the Yankees look at in the event they lose Juan Soto. They have some money to spend. Why not bolster the rotation? He's a good pitcher, and lefties in Yankee Stadium always trouble. He's got a 3 ERA this year, and what win was that, since we care about wins and losses now? 7-3, 15 starts, so 90 innings, 80 strikeouts, so he's having a really good year. David Paez says, highlight of the day was the Fried-Rice matchup. Yeah, Ben Rice has looked really good on both sides of the ball. I like how selective he is at the plate. He's taken some really close pitches really confidently. He's got a great eye for the bottom of the strike zone especially. He doesn't swing if it's low. We've seen him drive the ball to left field. He drove one 398 the other day that got caught. We saw him just missed a home run down the line in his debut to right field. We've seen him hit the ball up the middle. He's hit the ball to left field. He's pulled it through the right side. So he's clearly a guy who will hit the ball to all fields, which is what you want. So, all right, let's take a few more final thoughts here from everybody. We'll wrap it up fairly quickly today because it has been a tough series, and I'm sure everybody wants to get on with their Sunday. Obviously, 3 straight series losses is not what you want. We've been talking about it all week, the Yankees' red flags, and they were apparent once again today. DJ LeMahieu washed up, Gleyber Torres hitting .218. Juan Soto's power seems to have been zapped since the arm injury. He does have the 1 home run over the Green Monster in Fenway, but he's not driving the ball like he was in that San Francisco series. Not even close. Our depth is depleted to the point that we're trading for guys who were DFA'd by the Oakland Athletics, who don't like to pay guys to not be a part of their team. You know, they're very cheap. Obviously, there's nothing we can do about our injuries. Pereira's out. Dominguez is out. You know, Spencer Jones is not ready. He's at AA. He was not a candidate to get called up. We got a super chat here from William Flores. Says, I think Stanton going down might be a positive for the Yankees. Not that you want to lose him, but the mighty help might be more athletic. Hopefully it'll trigger a DJ and Torres trade. Rice, check Vivas phone. I don't know the Vivas phone thing. Oh, call him up. Call up Yorbit Vivas. What's Yorbit Vivas doing? Let me just double check right now because he was hurt early in the season. Looks like he's got a couple of home runs now. He's hitting .206 with 2 home runs and 15 RBIs. He was off to a really slow start. Let's take a look at his game logs. So let's go back maybe 4 or 5 days. So 1 for 4, 2 for 4, 1 for 4, 0 for 1, 1 for 5. Did he hit a grand slam? No, 4 total bases. So that's he must have hit a home run. Yeah, he hit a home run on the 21st, so 2 days ago. So maybe, I mean, he might end up in the major leagues at some point, but you want to see him heat up a little bit more than .206. The on-base percentage is nice, .363. He's another guy who takes pitches, so we'll see how that shakes out. But got a long way to go. As I mentioned, we're coming up on the halfway point. Game 81 is on Tuesday night, so that will be the halfway point of the season. It's gone by fast. It really has. Usually by this point in the season, I'm dragging, but one thing I've done this year to try and save my energy a little bit is every once in a while when I'm feeling kind of just like uncreative or tired or lazy or whatever, I'll bring in somebody else. We got Terrence coming in for occasional shows. We had Kratz on. We had Aiden Bechamps on from Fireside Yankees. We get Max Goodman on now and then. It gives me a rest to just, be able to lean on somebody for one of these shows. It's like taking a DH day, half day off in the field. So probably more of that in the second half as we go through the dog days of summer. But tough day for the Yanks. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Thanks to everybody who got us over 40,000. We're at like 40,025 now, so it's been a good day for the podcast. So go ahead and subscribe, be a part of it, and we'll see you next time.